Hi everyone, I'm Maria Ahmad from the International Organization for Migration based in Islamabad, Pakistan. And you're wondering, what does migration have to do with beneficiary communications or anything at all with communications? I manage the program Humanitarian Communications back there. We just wanted to kind of, if you could just go back very quickly, because I just wanted to kind of start from the fact that we've been talking about disasters, and there's all kinds of disasters. And there's my basic premise or my basic learning has been the fact that whether developed or underdeveloped or on the way to developing, in the eye of a crisis, we're all exactly the same because we all lose connections, we all lose technology. So now imagine a woman who's living somewhere in the north of Pakistan. Her only source of information is her husband. She's not allowed to go out. She's not allowed to talk to NGO female staff because we give them all kinds of weird ideas about gender rights, abortions, equality, etc., etc. So then we came into the 2009. That's pretty much where this program began in Pakistan. And we have started with 3 million people being displaced from the north because of the military operation. Inundated with media stories, but we did not have the basic information what people were looking for. Add to that the UN cluster system, when itself is pretty much running around trying to give out the aid and the NFIs and the food. And they have no idea where the information is coming in, except for the fact they know where the disaster is at and what are the needs over there. What needs to go out there, nobody knows. Some of our basic challenges kind of began with some external factors like this gentleman here, who according to the Bradford University's records had over 100 illegal transistor frequencies he was using for his propaganda, and so we couldn't use a radio to get out the basic information. We then, oh, okay, that was pretty rapid, okay. So like I was saying, technology, developed, underdeveloped, Google or Pakistan, it just happens to all of us. Anyways, so just quickly, we had information surveys where we started looking at things and what were the preferred mediums. The humanitarian country team was talking between gender or information. What's more important? We had all kinds of different agendas and discussions because this did become a very critical question in the eye when you had to do a lot more. This was where we started making sense of what we were supposed to do and the cycle where we were going to start working with the humanitarian community, the clusters, the government, how to adapt the message, to build the message, who's going to endorse it. As part of that, we started making a couple of information products, 2 of which became massive hits overnight. One was the frequently asked questions document, and the other one was a service directory born out of OCHA's 3W matrix, for those of you who have seen a 3W matrix. Overnight, we were thrown into the floods 2010, which flooded almost 1/3 of Pakistan and expanded us overnight from a couple of towns to across the country, which meant multilingual challenges. We had all kinds of issues going on, could not get an NOC because we're a nuclear country, and that's why everyone working in a particular area had to have a no objection certificate. We tried to look at mass outreach systems. It was the first time I met Laura. But we couldn't actually use them because of massive illiteracy in Pakistan. Literate is defined as someone who can stamp their own thumb or can sign their name. We then started identifying people, 5 per village, who could actually use a mobile phone, could read an SMS, could receive one, or could write back, and they became our human networks. We then had public-private partnerships as well, where people were able to make over 1 million free phone calls to trace out families, find out more information, find out more about aid. So it was what we realized was that we needed to expand immediately and start looking for things. But one of the things that the phone experiment or pilot taught us also was that because Pakistan is still a learning experience, we do not have a helpline which is there to help people. And so we established a humanitarian call center, which is manned by multilingual attendants around the clock. HAP, the Humanitarian Accountability Partnership, around 2010s and gave us the mandate and the policy and authority to be there, because by that point, everybody was still asking us, who are you? Why are you here? And what does migration have to do with communications? So here we are today. Because of that, we are still talking with 11 institutions running a cash compensation program, one of the only ones around the world, a global program, which is probably going to be rolled out in future emergencies as well. And because of that, we're still talking to beneficiaries. However, our job's not done, because even to me, someone who has been working a lot with communication, WhatsApp, Twitterati, social media is still ET for me. And if it's still ET for me, then imagine the people who are living out there who we're trying to talk to, who've never actually used a mobile phone, and touch screens and technology is major technophobia for them. It's also about behavior change, because people do have sources of information, but they're not turning to them because they do not understand that communication or information right away is aid. A couple of points that we need to advocate on and a couple of partners that we need to absolutely partner with are just here, just food for thought for everybody in the future. And last but not the least, in Chinese, the word crisis is actually danger and opportunity. Communication will always have opportunity because, well, as we already had said earlier, people will find a way to communicate. And I think we've all got the tools here. We know where we're going and what we need to be doing. I think we can do that together. Thank you very much for listening.